Hey everyone, happy Wednesday afternoon. So today we are talking about periods, and I have done a women's health webinar before. That was late last year sometime, but I'm digging in a little bit deeper this time and talking specifically about how to support and celebrate each of the 4 phases of your cycle. So knowing that information, knowing how your body works, knowing exactly which oils can support you at that time of the month, knowing which foods to reach for, knowing the type of activity and exercise that is most appropriate for your body at that time of the month is such an empowering thing. And the idea is being able to really work with your body, to show your body some love rather than fighting it each month. And if you've got period issues, I know what a struggle it can be at certain times of the month. I have been there back when I was in high school. It kind of started. First couple of years I had my period, I was totally fine, and then it just all went downhill really quickly, and I was on hospital strength painkillers. I became anemic because my periods were so heavy. I was missing 1 to 2 days of school every month. They suspected I had endometriosis and did a laparoscopy to check for that, which was negative, and then that just kind of stumped them. They went, oh well, we don't really know what to do for you. You should go on the pill, which I did at 15. So we know all of this stuff has a really significant impact on our well-being. I'll share a couple of resources later, some women that I follow and whose advice that I trust. So as we're jumping in, I will just say, obviously, I am not a doctor. So what we're talking about today is not medical advice. If you are concerned about your body, about changes in your cycle, if you're wondering if what's happening to you is normal, go and see your doctor. Get it checked out, get tests done, rule out anything, and then come back and incorporate some lifestyle things that we know can make a massive difference. Don't mess around with this sort of stuff. My mum passed away from endometrial cancer, so I am very much clued in now to my body and noticing changes, and I'm not going to let anything get by me. So see your doctor first, rule out anything, otherwise let's have some fun. We're going to play with some of the oils today. I've made an ebook for you which you can grab for free. It's got all of the notes from today's webinar. It's got some beautiful blends that I have never shared anywhere else. So you don't need to worry about taking notes, and then you'll have these blends that you can try out, and it's a lot of fun. So as always, playing with the oils, I think, is a lot of fun. It's about elevating the things that you would be doing anyway, taking them to that whole new level of support for your body, your mind, your soul, as you're going through your daily life. So let's jump in. So celebrating your cycle. So basic stuff. So you'll see in the ebook, it does run through what's happening in your body. So we know that the average cycle length is 28 days. Yours might be slightly longer, slightly shorter, and that could be normal. Again, check with your doctor first. But we are all different. So when we're talking about day 1, day 28, yours may be slightly different, and that is totally okay. You can still work within the same framework really, really easily. So 28-day cycle, day 1 is the first day of bleeding. Day 28, or whatever it is for you, is the day before your period starts again. So mid-cycle is roughly somewhere around day 14 to 15. Again, that could be different for you, but those are the averages that we're going to be talking about. So we can divide our cycle, first of all, into 2 phases. So day 1 to day 15, or whenever ovulation is the follicular phase, and then the second half is the luteal phase. In that, though, we can divide it down further, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, these 4 phases, and we're going to be talking about specific ways to support your body in each of those phases. So, all right, phase 1 is starting on day 1. So this is your period. So for a lot of us, that can be tricky to manage. So I am now at the point after doing a lot of work, a lot of detoxing, that I'm doing okay, and that I can be surprised now when my period's coming, because I used to have everything marked in my phone, and I'd have to make sure that I didn't book anything on those days because chances are I wouldn't feel like, getting out of bed. Not anymore. So that is the point that really I hope that all of us can get to, that we can just live our lives, support our bodies as we're going through without having to feel so heavy and to feel so unwell and to have pain and whatever else is going on. We want to be able to cruise through as much as possible. So the first phase, when you have your period, that is when you're going to have all the symptoms. It's going to, you might have cramping, mood swings, fatigue, brain fog, all of those sorts of things. So what we're going to be looking at are ways to support your body, first of all, in phase 1, so when you've actually got your period. So in terms of exercise, this is definitely a time to slow down a little, just for those first few days. So if you're someone who is exercising regularly and it's part of your daily routine and it makes you feel amazing, I would still suggest winding it back slightly just on those first few days and giving your body a chance to relax and sort of pamper yourself a little bit. So we can think of phase 1, our period, as being our inner winter. So we're going to look at the 4 phases in terms of seasons, which is really useful to do. It just gives your brain a visual as to what type of things are going to be suiting you at that time. So if we're thinking inner winter, we're thinking hibernating away a little bit. We're thinking of needing to nourish and nurture ourselves a little bit, and we can do that with our food. So in terms of food, we definitely want to be increasing increasing iron-rich foods. So things like red meat, if you can go there, things like liver, legumes, shellfish, what else is there? Pumpkin seeds are really high in iron as well, spinach, all of that good stuff you want to increase. And at the same time, you can increase your vitamin C intake, because vitamin C enhances absorption of iron. So oranges, capsicum, broccoli, all of those sorts of things. Anything iron rich and vitamin C rich is going to be fantastic in terms of food. We want to be toning back activity, doing more gentle exercise, so like walking or yoga, Pilates, those sorts of stuff, rather than hardcore CrossFit, whatever. Now really is a time to pamper yourself. So doing things like facials and giving yourself a manicure or a pedicure, or doing a body scrub, or painting your nails a different colour, whatever it is for you, doing a hair and scalp treatment, all of those little tiny self-pampering things that you can do at home, perfect time to do it when you actually have your period. So in terms of oils, I've given you a blend. I absolutely love this blend. These are the 5 oils that have made a big difference to me. Obviously, we have the beautiful Claricalm. So if you have Claricalm, go for it. Use your Claricalm. It absolutely changed my life. When I first got my Claricalm, it was amazing. Amazing. I also didn't realise that it wasn't diluted when I first got it. So my first month in doTERRA with my Claricalm, I was smothered in that stuff head to toe, and it was full strength. So I was, floating basically that month on a bit of a high and smelling amazing. Obviously it is undiluted, so I now split mine between 3. So that's just a tip for you if you hadn't realised that. But it didn't take me too long to realise that I was relying on it a little bit too much, and my body needed me to switch things up a little bit. So you may use Claricalm all month long, and that is totally fine. But if you've been using it for a while and maybe feeling like it's not as effective as it was, you might want to switch things up a little bit. So I rely on Claricalm now mainly sort of mid to late cycle, and mainly for mood rather than any physical stuff going on. I also find it really good to help with sort of anxious feelings, overwhelm, so completely unrelated to period stuff, just my mood and my stress levels. So lots and lots of ways to use Claricalm. It's not even mentioned in the ebook. We're not focusing on Claricalm at all because there are some other really beautiful oils that you can use to support yourself, and you can make some gorgeous blends with them as well. So, essential oils for phase 1, which is when you have your period, also known as winter, as far as this is concerned. So I've given you the Moontime blend, which you will grab in the ebook. But the oils that I think are so supportive for this time of the month, number 1 has to be clary sage. Such a powerful, feminine, beautiful oil. So you can use this one, dilute it, get it on your belly, your lower back, rub it on your feet, wear it as your perfume, have a few drops in the bath. Just divine. So amazing for calming, soothing, balancing hormones, that sort of thing. The second one is lavender. Probably no surprise there. Lavender is an absolute must-have when it comes to stress and needing to relax and calm and soothe. So lavender can work both physically and emotionally. So if you're feeling, if you've got cramping and those sorts of things, lavender is a great oil to add into the mix. The third one is cypress. So I've shared this little tip before. So if you are someone who has a really heavy cycle and you want some help to just lighten it up a little bit, cypress is going to be your best friend. So I'm not sure when I discovered it, probably 6 months ago. I discovered it, diluted it, massaged it on my belly, and I kid you not, within 30 minutes I saw a change. So it is now in all of my blends to support myself at that time of the month, and I'm sharing it with a lot of women who have issues with heavy periods. So cypress, what you can do is dilute just on its own. You can use the other oils as well, but dilute that, get it on your belly, and give yourself a really good massage. So starting lower right hand side of your abdomen, going up to your rib cage and around, so clockwise direction, and quite firm. You can almost kind of knead the muscles, knead your belly a little bit. Give yourself a 5-minute massage with the cypress and just see how you go. So I found it amazing, so definitely recommend that. The next oil is peppermint. So peppermint, obviously amazing for energy, also really good for muscular support as well, to cool, to soothe. So you can add peppermint into any blend that you're going to do for cramps and if you're getting aches down your legs. I often get aches down the side of my thighs, lower back, those sorts of places. You can add some peppermint into the mix. Really beautiful. And the last one for phase 1 is rose. So we have the amazing Rose Touch, which I absolutely love. And actually those 3 oils, that queenly trio of rose, neroli and jasmine, are amazing support for women. So I'm only talking about rose at this stage. I do mention neroli and jasmine later on. Such incredibly feminine, supportive oils for women. Really balancing. Rose is a bit of a cure-all. You can, rose is good for everything, a bit like Frankie. So the queen of oils, amazing to help balance your hormones, to ease fatigue, to ease stress levels, to just make you feel good. So clary sage, lavender, cypress, peppermint and rose. And you've got the Moontime blend, roller blend in the ebook. So make sure you grab that one and give it a go. So that was phase 1, which is winter. So phase 2. So the second phase actually starts on day 1 as well. So this is the follicular phase. So follicular as in follicles. So this starts on day 1 and goes all the way through to ovulation. It's treated as a separate phase. So in the first phase, that's when our hormones are the lowest. So when we've actually got our period, all of our hormones are at their lowest point of the entire month. So that's progesterone, estrogen and testosterone. Over the next week or so, they start to rise. And so during this second phase, which is our spring phase, our hormone levels are starting to rise and we're starting to feel a little bit more like ourselves, basically. So no more brain fog, increased energy, better mood, not so many mood swings, just feeling, more like yourself again. So in terms of what's happening in our bodies, it is literally the time when our body is starting to prepare for pregnancy. So our hormone levels are rising, the body is starting to thicken the walls of the uterus, the endometrium, and it's a really good time to start paying attention to your body. So whether you are looking to get pregnant or not, knowing your body's fertile signs is really, really helpful. So again, whether you're looking to get pregnant or you're definitely trying not to get pregnant. So that's a whole other topic. You guys can Google that if you haven't already. When we were looking to have our kids, I was tracking my cycle daily. Really, really useful, and I do credit that, I think, to how things went for us and how it was relatively easy to fall pregnant, because I was so clued into my body. I knew exactly when I was ovulating. I knew all of my signs. Everything was tracked. I was tracking my temperature. Like, you can go all into that and get amazing information from your body. Okay, so in terms of activity, again, we're stepping everything up again. So it's time to get back into more strenuous exercise, to be doing things like strength training, endurance training, to be increasing your carb intake again, but good quality carbs. So things like quinoa, oats, really fibrous veggies, eating more protein. So things like eggs and seafood and nuts and chicken, those sorts of things. Really, really supportive for your body in phase 2. This is a fantastic time to be scheduling events, getaways, date night, anything to get, like social events, to get you back out and about, because you're feeling good, you're feeling energetic. At this time, because of our hormone levels, our skin tends to look the best as well. So, make the most of it. Go out and have some fun. Now's the time in your cycle to be taking selfies. So if you're looking for a new profile pic, do it in phase 2 of your cycle, because chances are your skin will look the best. And now is the time to tackle any projects as well, because this is the time that you're going to feel most energetic and most ready to give new things a go. In terms of essential oils to support this, so this is our inner spring. So if you think about what spring symbolizes in terms of the seasons, this is growth and rebirth and flowers in bloom and all of those sorts of things. So we want to be supporting those. Just completely lost my train of thought. We're going to be supporting those aspects within our body as well. So the first oil is bergamot, however you pronounce it. Such a beautiful oil for women. This is the oil of self-acceptance emotionally. It's a beautiful citrus oil. This is the one that gives Earl Grey tea its beautiful fragrance. Incredibly supportive and restorative in terms of reducing stress, helping us to feel good, helping us to relax. You'll see it in a lot of sleep blends as well, because it does have those relaxing properties. Like, most citrus is uplifting, and bergamot definitely is uplifting, but it really helps to soothe us as well. So you've got to have bergamot. Every woman needs bergamot. The second one is basil. So basil is an oil that I tend to use for adrenal support. So for things like fatigue, sort of managing, stabilizing energy levels throughout the day. Really beautiful oil. And again, I love that these herbal oils that we kind of think, yeah, that'll be delicious in my salad or my spaghetti bolognese, has so many more benefits for us when we start exploring them. So basil supports our adrenals, promotes clarity of mind, helps to balance our energy levels when we're in need of stamina. And you can dilute it, add it to your blends, or you can dilute it and give yourself a bit of a massage. So basil and peppermint together are lovely if you wanted to give yourself a bit of a massage on the back of the neck and the shoulders or the feet. Really, really lovely. Give that one a go. The next oil, which I think is perfect for springtime, is geranium. So floral, sweet, very feminine, very pretty oil. Amazing for women in terms of balancing hormone levels, calms and relaxes the mind. Amazing for skin. So we mentioned skin before. If you want to be using geranium in your skincare products, you'll really feel the difference that makes to your skin. So I tend to use lavender, frankincense and geranium in most of my homemade skincare, and I absolutely love the aroma and what it's doing for my skin as well. And the last oil for spring is frankincense. Everybody needs frankincense. So this is our whole body cellular support. This is the oil that enhances every other oil that you use with it. So whatever blend that you're making, you can add a drop or two of Frankie and it just takes it to that next level. Use Frankie on its own. Amazing for mood, amazing for sleep, just helping us to relax and calm down. Absolutely beautiful. And I've given you the Rebirth blend, Rebirth Roller Blend, which is perfect to use at this time of the month. So it's got clary sage, fennel, geranium, frankincense, coriander and ylang ylang. Incredible oils. So, and this one smells so delicious. It's really, really good. So the idea of all of this is you can have your blends made up. You know which part of your cycle you're in. You know the types of things you can do to support yourself and work with your body at that time of the month. And you've got this beautiful aroma and these beautiful, powerful oils to work on your physical body as well as your emotions. So that is phase 2, which is spring. Next up, phase 3, which is ovulation, and this is our summer. So ovulation is the midpoint of your cycle. So if you're a typical 28-day person, then ovulation is going to be around day 14 to 15. Everyone is different. So yours may be earlier or later, and the length of your cycle will be adjusted accordingly. So you might not even notice ovulation at all. I do tend to be aware of it. I'm not sure whether that's just because it's me or because I'm kind of clued in now to what my body does, but you might notice a bit of an ache or a twinge in your belly. You might get some breast tenderness. You might notice increased libido. There are lots of things that you can notice. Again, if you're looking to get pregnant, research those fertile signs and get to know your body a little bit. So this is your highest energy point of the month. And I think most of us would agree that this is the time where you do have the most energy, the most motivation. You feel like doing all the things that you need to get done, and you're really, really super productive. So again, this is a time to get those workouts in, to schedule functions or events. You know, if you're running your own business, this is the time to be, doing classes and presentations and actually getting out there, because you've got the energy and you're feeling really good about yourself. And I've been doing quite a lot of work into self-care, like the connection between self-care and sort of business as well. And when you feel good about yourself, you do come into the world with an entirely different energy. And you may notice that during the month as well, that there are times of the month where you just don't feel like doing the things. So maybe you can look at your calendar and look at your schedule and work in your business and your work activities to suit what is going on with your body. And I love the idea of this, the idea of actually working with our bodies, making the most of what our bodies are giving us. So at certain times of the month, yes, it's about hibernating and coming back into yourself and taking care of yourself a bit more. Other times of the month, it's high energy, high output. Work with it, work with your body at those times, and do the activities that suit the way that you're feeling at the time. Love it. So much good stuff there. In terms of food, so one thing I did come up with, and I've been trying to do this, is eating more fiber around the time of ovulation. We've got all of these increased hormones swirling around, and some of us have too much of those hormones swirling around, and that's what can cause some of our symptoms. So eating more fiber can actually help your body kind of bind those and get rid of them. We want to detox a little bit. So fiber-rich foods, super sexy. In terms of sexiness, this is high libido time, which is your body having one last-ditch attempt to fall pregnant in the month. So again, work with that. Schedule your date nights. I've given you the Sexy Summer Blend, which has some of the same oils in terms of hormonal balancing, and it's got some oils in there that are mood boosting and aphrodisiac, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous blend. So the Sexy Summer Blend has sandalwood, clary sage, coriander, ginger, frankincense and ylang ylang, and it smells amazing. In terms of individual oils to support us at this time of the month, so phase 3, neroli, so beautiful, incredibly supportive for women, especially women around my sort of age who are, 40-ish, It's that kind of pre and peri-menopause stage. Neroli is incredible physical and emotional support for you at the moment. Smells so good as well. I have that one in my handbag. I wear it as my perfume a lot because I love it so much. Jasmine as well. Get your jasmine touch out. Roll it on your belly. Roll it on your over your heart space. Such a beautiful sensual oil. So a great one to wear as your perfume. It's known as the Queen of the Night. Ylang ylang, like I mentioned, is in that blend. So this is such a potent oil. Definitely an aphrodisiac, a mood booster, soothes the brain, the central nervous system. It's in a lot of sleep blends as well. Anything to do with mood, sleep, relaxation, emotions, ylang ylang is the one you want to reach for. I find it really, really strong. So a lot of my blends, you'll see I only add 1 or 2 drops of ylang ylang ever. If you love it, you can definitely increase that and use a few more drops. Next oil is sandalwood. Again, such a beautiful oil. Emotionally, this is one that's promoting emotional openness. It blends beautifully with jasmine. So if you were looking for perfume, like a date night perfume, jasmine and sandalwood is amazing together. There's a tip for you. And ginger as well. So warming, aromatic, libido booster. It's the oil of empowerment. So phase 3, ovulation, neroli, jasmine, ylang ylang, sandalwood and ginger. And you've got your sexy summer blend in the ebook as well. Phase 4. So like we said at the start, we had our overall follicular phase, which starts day 1. At the same time as you have your period, but we've got those hormone levels slowly rising. Phase 4, this is our luteal phase, and that technically starts at ovulation as well, but we're looking specifically at that week before your period. So this is the premenstrual phase. So this is the time that has the really bad reputation for all of those symptoms, for the mood swings, the headaches, the backaches, cramping, bloating, cravings, all of that fun stuff tends to happen in that week before your period. And that is all to do with hormone levels. That's all it is. So basically the levels are dropping. So we said when you have your period, all of those sex hormone levels are at their lowest point. So in that week before your period, they're taking a nosedive, and that is when the way that you're feeling starts to go downhill as well. So there are definitely things you can do to support your body. And I said at the start about Claricalm. If you've got Claricalm, this might be exactly what you need at this time of the month to stop those mood swings. If you're feeling like you just want to strangle everybody, you need to be using your oils at this time of the month. So this is a fantastic time. This is our autumn. Our inner autumn is the week before our periods are due. So this is the time to wind back on the activities that are going to stress you out or drain you of energy. So we want to be slowly coming back in. So just like we would in autumn when the weather starts to cool down a little bit, and it changes the way that we sleep, it changes the types of activities that we're doing. We're perhaps not quite as social as we were in summer. So opting for more, I don't know if you guys can hear that, there's a helicopter pretty much right overhead. So winding back on social activities, winding back a little bit on the degree of exercise that you're doing, and switching to things like yoga and Pilates and swimming and Tai Chi and all of those more gentle exercises rather than a full-on strength workout. One of the key reasons for that is actually at this time of the month that our levels of relaxin are at their highest. So we're actually at a greater chance of injury during this time. So again, listening to our body is reducing those relaxin levels, which means we're going to injure ourselves. So it's telling us you need to slow down a little bit here. Don't go so full out. It's time to wind things back a little bit. Making time to be in nature rather than in front of a screen. Opting for magnesium-rich foods. So a lot of us get those chocolate cravings at this time of the month, and research shows that that's often due to magnesium. We're actually craving magnesium. So magnesium-rich foods are things like nuts, seeds, salmon, kale, and asparagus. You can support your body with magnesium as well through things like Epsom salts baths. So if you don't have a bath or you can't spare the time, everyone should spare the time to have a bath, do a foot bath, or get yourself some amazing minerals magnesium, or make your own magnesium spray. I've shared a recipe for mine before. I have my own magnesium spray that I spray on before bed each night. So amazing for mood, for sleep, and definitely supportive for this time of the month. We also want to increase vitamin B foods as well. So that's things like eggs, whole grains, meat, dairy products. So we're talking about real food. So if you can meet your body's needs, nourish your body with real food at this time of the month, chances are you'll be able to cut out some of those cravings. So just recognizing that cravings for chocolate might actually be cravings for certain minerals. So making sure that you're taking your lifelong vitality supplements or any other supplements that you need. Now is the time to be doing it. So Epsom salts baths to boost your magnesium levels, reduce any cramping if it's starting to happen. It'll also help with things like backache and headaches. If you get those PMS headaches that are a bit of a nightmare, I do. I find increasing magnesium really, really helpful at this time of the month. And prioritizing early nights and a great sleep. Absolutely, always important, but especially important now as you're kind of preparing your body for the week ahead, basically. So essential oils for phase 4, which is our inner autumn. So cedarwood, first of all, amazing for sleep. So this is calm, eases stress and tension, helps us to sleep, helps us to feel more relaxed. So get some cedarwood into your diffuser with things like lavender, wild orange, frankincense, really, really lovely. Vetiver I also love in terms of supporting mood, aiding with focus and attention, helping with sleep. So vetiver is one of my #1 oils for sleep. I have it in my blends, but I also have it sitting on my bedside table, and I dilute it and I rub it on my earlobes. And I find that really, really helpful. So if you're someone who has trouble switching your brain off, and it is around this time of the month too that we can start to sleep really badly again, whether it's not being able to fall asleep or waking up in the middle of the night not being able to get back to sleep, I find vetiver really, really helpful for that. So keep that in mind. And 2 other oils to support us now, again, are not the typical ones that you would think of. The first one is thyme. So again, just like basil, these beautiful herb oils that have so much potency, so much power to support our bodies. It's just incredible when you start digging into them. So thyme, amazing support to help us de-stress, to help fight fatigue, helping to naturally balance your hormones, helping to ease anxious feelings, helping to ease pain and tension. And there's an amazing study from a few years ago on the effects of thyme in terms of pain management. I would encourage you to Google thyme essential oil and pain and find that study and see what it says. And the next oil is marjoram. So again, another beautiful herb oil that goes amazingly well with chicken. That's what we had for dinner last night. But can also really help support our bodies at this time of the month in terms of managing headaches and cramping and dizziness and mood swings and all of those things that we deal with at this time of the month. So I've given you my inner autumn blend. I mentioned it on a post last night that I was taking my own advice and going to bed early. So I am in my autumn season this week at the moment. So I would love you guys to, as you're watching this, to figure out what season you're in and let me know. I'd love to know, especially once you've got the ebook, and just see whether what I'm sharing matches up with how you're feeling at the moment. It's really fascinating. So inner autumn blend has thyme, marjoram, geranium, frankincense, peppermint, and ylang ylang. And it smells amazing. And like I was saying before, it's just a different twist. So yes, we can reach for Claricalm at this time of the month, but there are so many other oils, and your body will give you clues as to what you need. So Claricalm might be perfect. Or you might need to mix it up a little bit and customize a blend that you can use at different times of the month to suit your body. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I hope this is interesting. If this has resonated with you, please let me know. This is the type of stuff that I just love. I love being able to dig deeper into ways to use the oils, and also deeper into my understanding of how everything is working for my body. I really believe that knowledge is power when it comes to our hormones, to understanding our bodies, and just to feeling good in our own skin. Knowledge is definitely power. So thank you guys so much for watching, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay. I'd love you guys to give this video a like if you've gotten value from this. Make sure you grab your ebook. All of the notes are in there. All of those beautiful blends are in there. I would love to know which season you're in and which of those blends is kind of calling your name at the moment. Feel free to give this video a like, share it around if you've got anyone in your community who needs this information. And if you don't have oils yet, please go back to the person who introduced you, or if that's me and you'd like to have a chat about your options for getting started with my support, just send me a private message and we can have a chat about all of that as well. Have a fantastic afternoon, everybody. Make sure you grab your ebook and look after yourself, whatever season that you're in at the moment. See you later, guys.